Every year, Americans consume around 46 million turkeys during Thanksgiving. Ever wondered how many steps a turkey goes through before it lands on your dinner table? And no, it's not just about becoming the star of your holiday feast. From small family farms to massive industrial complexes, the story of turkeys is fascinating, a bit surprising, and definitely worth your attention. Ready to break it all down? Let's dive in. It all starts with eggs. On specialized farms, breeding turkeys lay eggs, which are carefully collected by workers or automated systems. These eggs are then sent to hatcheries. Think of them as nurseries for future birds. In the United States, turkey farms range in size, from small family-run operations to large commercial enterprises. According to the United States Department of Agriculture, 99% of all farms in the country are family-owned. However, medium and large-scale family farms account for 68% of production, highlighting their critical role in American agriculture. The U.S. is one of the world's leading producers of turkey meat. Key turkey-producing states include Minnesota, Indiana, Missouri, and Arkansas. Overall, turkey farms play a vital role in the agricultural sector, supplying a significant portion of domestic consumption and exports. On larger turkey farms, incubation facilities can span impressive areas, designed for the optimal growth of the birds. The size of the farm determines the capacity and automation level of these hatcheries. Eggs are placed in specialized incubators with controlled temperature and humidity. A standard incubator can hold anywhere from 500 to 2,500 eggs. If a farm operates several of these units, the total incubation area can cover hundreds of square feet, depending on the farm's needs. Modern incubators often come equipped with automatic egg turning systems, ensuring eggs stay in the proper position throughout the incubation period. These systems also feature sensors to monitor temperature, humidity, and ventilation, key factors for achieving high-quality hatch rates. After 28 days, tiny turkey poults emerge from their shells. Unlike in nature, where they break the shells on their own, humans often assist the process to minimize losses. Once hatched, the poults are transported to grow-out farms. And by the way, their journey is just getting started. When a poult hatches, it's still reliant on residual nutrients from the yolk absorbed in its abdomen. These newborns need warmth because their bodies can't yet maintain the necessary temperature for normal functioning. Right after hatching, poults are placed in warm rooms set at about 95 degrees Fahrenheit. Over time, the temperature is gradually lowered to 73 degrees as the poults develop their ability to regulate body heat. Within a few hours or days, the poults begin seeking food and water. Since incubators provide high temperatures and specific conditions for survival, the young turkeys start consuming water and feed actively within the first hours of life. A crucial step after hatching is creating the right environment. This means constant monitoring of temperature and humidity, along with proper conditions to prevent stress or illness caused by inadequate feeding. Right after hatching, poults are moved to specialized facilities where they get the essentials for survival and growth: warmth, feed, water, and protection from disease. These steps are absolutely critical for their healthy development. Transportation to farms happens as soon as the poults are strong enough for the journey. Typically, they're placed in specialized containers designed for their comfort, constant temperature, ventilation, and enough space to move around. These containers, made from either plastic or soft mesh, ensure the poults can breathe and stay safe during transport. The microclimate inside is carefully maintained to keep the poults healthy. Poults are transported to farms within a few hours of hatching, usually before they start eating or drinking. Feeding begins the moment they arrive at the farm, marking a vital stage in their growth. During the first few days, poults are given a special starter feed packed with essential vitamins, proteins, minerals, and amino acids to support healthy growth. This feed often includes finely ground grains, flour, and feed additives. Water is available 24 hours a day because hydration is critical for young birds. Ensuring they receive vitamins and antibiotics helps prevent diseases and supports proper growth. Over time, the feed is gradually switched to more complex formulations, including turkey-specific compound feed designed to build muscle mass effectively. Turkey's diet consists of grains, protein supplements, vitamins, and minerals. And no hormones. Most countries strictly ban them. Turkeys grow quickly. In 4 to 6 months, they reach an average weight of 15 to 33 pounds, depending on their gender and breed. Massive poultry barns can house thousands of turkeys at a time, equipped with everything they need for comfort: ventilation systems, automatic feeders, and water dispensers. Free range? Forget about it on large farms. Most turkeys spend their entire lives indoors. Why? Because it's easier to monitor their health and prevent diseases that way. When turkeys reach their target weight, they're transported to specialized processing plants. And this is where things get interesting or complicated, depending on your perspective. The birds are loaded into crates, which are then placed onto trucks. Transport usually happens at night or early in the morning to minimize heat stress. While the final destination is the processing plant, ensuring the turkey's well-being at every stage of their journey is crucial. It's not just about the bird's health, but also about economic efficiency, meat quality, and maintaining the producer's reputation. Ethical practices and meeting societal expectations for humane treatment of animals play a significant role here. Let's dive into the details. Even though the plant is the end of the road, the journey there needs to be as humane as possible. This is not just an ethical issue, it's a practical one. Every stage of raising turkeys represents an investment of time, money, and resources. Any significant loss, illness, or injury caused by stress at this point would undermine all the prior effort. Adhering to standards and regulations helps producers avoid scandals or penalties from the government or animal rights groups. Stressed birds often yield lower quality meat, tougher texture, and diminished taste. This directly impacts the producer's reputation. For example, turkeys that experience severe stress before processing can develop a condition called muscle breakdown, which ruins the texture and flavor of the meat. That's why ensuring their comfort until the very end is not only essential for the farmers, but also critical for the final product's quality. Now, we've reached a moment some might prefer to skip. But if you want to understand the entire process, you need to know the truth. Processing at factories isn't for the faint-hearted. Turkeys are stunned using either electrical currents or gas. This is done to minimize stress and pain. The birds are released one by one into designated holding areas or guiding lanes designed for smooth movement toward the stunning zone. These areas are carefully constructed to reduce panic and overcrowding. They often feature smooth surfaces with no sharp edges to prevent injuries. The design ensures that turkeys move in a single direction without pushing or jostling each other. There are two main methods of stunning. In the first, turkeys are guided through a water bath where a mild electrical current is applied. When their heads touch the water, the current stuns them instantly. The second method involves placing them in a sealed chamber where oxygen levels are gradually reduced and gas is introduced. This causes them to lose consciousness without physical pain. In the stunning areas, dim lighting or blue-tinted lights are often used to calm the birds. Factories also reduce noise levels since sudden loud sounds can cause panic. Human contact at this stage is minimized to avoid adding extra stress. After stunning, automated systems handle the slaughter process. The turkeys are then scalded to remove feathers, and later they are either processed into parts or kept whole. Once stunned and slaughtered, the birds are hung upside down on a conveyor belt that moves them through processing zones. The first step is scalding. Turkeys are dipped into large tanks of hot water, typically over 140 degrees Fahrenheit. This process lasts a few minutes and serves two purposes: softening the skin and sanitizing the bird's surface. After scalding, the turkeys are moved into specialized machines called defeatherers, or feather removal machines. These machines are rotating drums fitted with flexible rubber fingers. As the birds pass through, the fingers gently strip the feathers off the body. The rubber material ensures the feathers are removed without damaging the skin. Following this mechanical process, any remaining feathers are checked and manually removed if necessary. This step usually targets small feathers that the machine might miss. The collected feathers aren't wasted. They're repurposed as raw materials for various products, including animal feed, fertilizers, and even certain textiles in some cases. Modern poultry plants use fully automated systems, allowing hundreds, sometimes thousands, of birds to be processed per hour. The high speed of the equipment helps preserve meat quality, as overly lengthy processing can negatively affect texture or appearance. The finished meat is packaged in plastic bags or vacuum-sealed containers and prepared for transportation to stores. There are over 1,200 crocodile farms worldwide. When people hear about crocodile farms, some imagine wild chaos, with hundreds of reptiles crawling over each other. But that's far from reality. It's way more fascinating and technologically advanced. In China, this industry has evolved into a highly organized business that merges science, nature, and human ingenuity. Let's take a closer look at this extraordinary world. China isn't just a country with ancient culinary traditions. It's also a leader in crocodile farming. With over 500 farms raising more than 2 million crocodiles annually, this industry began booming back in the 1980s when demand for crocodile skin and meat skyrocketed. Over the decades, China has become the top producer, even outpacing Thailand. Here's an impressive stat. In Anhui province alone, the heart of the crocodile farming business, up to 2 million crocodiles are raised every year. And here's the surprising part. Every farm adheres to strict standards of sustainability and ethics. Chinese crocodile farms aren't just enclosures filled with predators. They're scientifically designed complexes featuring labs, climate control systems, and even dedicated incubators. A single adult crocodile can fetch up to $2,000 just for its skin. Add the meat, and the profit can exceed $4,000 per crocodile. The harvest starts with collecting eggs. In the wild, females lay them in sandy nests and leave them unguarded. But on farms, it's a completely different story. Workers collect the eggs immediately after they're laid and transfer them to incubators. The temperature here is regulated down to a degree, 89 degrees Fahrenheit for males and slightly lower for females. Fascinating, right? After 70 to 80 days, the first hatchlings emerge. They're placed in specialized nurseries, where they can grow in comfort under close supervision. How do farm workers know which eggs will hatch males and which will hatch females, you ask? Maybe they scan them like chicken eggs? Or use X-rays? Nope. While farmers might candle eggs early on to check if they're fertilized, similar to what's done with chicken eggs, determining gender this way is impossible. It all boils down to incubator temperature control. Imagine this. On crocodile farms, temperature decides everything, even gender. The sex of a crocodile depends entirely on the egg's incubation temperature. No X-rays or high-tech gadgets needed. If the egg is kept below 86 degrees Fahrenheit, it's likely to hatch a female. At higher temperatures, the odds shift to males. At mid-range temperatures, you get a mix of both. This isn't just a quirk of nature, it's a survival strategy, allowing reptiles to adjust their population balance depending on environmental conditions. In this way, crocodile farmers essentially play God, deciding who gets to hatch. Cool, right? On farms, incubator temperatures are adjusted based on specific needs. If more females are required, for skin or breeding purposes, the temperature is set lower. If males are more valuable, they tend to grow larger and yield more meat. The temperature is raised. Modern farms use computerized monitoring systems, with climate control setups ensuring the perfect conditions. Humidity is also critical and is constantly monitored. Eggs are rotated regularly to prevent embryos from sticking to the shells, ensuring even development. Even with all these precautions, some eggs misbehave and hatch the opposite gender than expected. Nature has its quirks, but overall, this method is highly effective. Comfort is the key word on these farms. Crocodiles are housed in spacious enclosures with water and dry areas. Temperature and humidity are constantly monitored. Imagine each crocodile has its own daily schedule: feeding time, swimming, and basking in the sun. Speaking of feeding, their diet is a science in itself. Crocodiles aren't the type to need 3 square meals a day or smoothies for breakfast. Their feeding and lifestyle are optimized for their natural habits. On farms, feeding becomes an exact science with precise calculations. Crocodiles are fed protein-rich mixes containing fish, chicken, and even vegetables. Everything to ensure rapid growth and good health. In the wild, crocodiles are apex predators, but their farm diet is simpler and cheaper, designed to maximize growth, health, and skin quality. Fish is the most affordable and widely available option, often using small or substandard fish. Poultry industry leftovers are another staple since crocodiles love chicken. Other meats are given in smaller quantities, mainly as a treat for larger individuals. They're also supplemented with protein-rich pellets containing vitamins and minerals. Feeding is organized to be safe and efficient for workers. Crocodiles aren't exactly friendly creatures, so minimizing contact is essential. Workers toss food into their enclosures, either on land or into the water. Modern farms often use automated feeding devices. Younger crocodiles are fed more frequently, every few days, while adults eat about once a week or even less. Interestingly, overeating is a problem for crocodiles too. Overfeeding can make them lethargic and less active, which negatively affects their skin and health. And damaged skin is a no-go. It takes the hide of one young crocodile, about 5 feet long, to make a single crocodile leather bag. So, what do crocodiles do most of the time? If you think they're busy being productive, sorry, but no. They spend most of their day just lying around. They sleep and rest for 16 to 20 hours a day, basking in the sun. In the wild, this helps regulate their body temperature. Farms recreate conditions that mimic their natural environment. Crocodiles aren't very active unless they're hungry or threatened. Most of the time, they either float still in the water or shift positions occasionally. In large enclosures, artificial ponds and resting areas let them choose their comfort zones. Surprisingly, they often lie together, like giant sleepy cats, albeit very toothy ones. No balls or toys for these reptiles, as you might guess. Their main entertainment is waiting for food. Some farmers even have a tradition of feeding them from boats to stir them up and make them work a bit for their meal. Crocodiles are all about minimalism. Eat, sleep, repeat. Once, on a farm in Anhui, the crocodiles blocked an exit door for the staff by all lying near it simultaneously. The situation was resolved only by luring them away with fresh fish. One of the world's largest farms, located in Guangzhou, raises about 100,000 crocodiles at any given time. Now, the most interesting part. How are crocodiles turned into valuable products? All farm operations are conducted humanely, under strict veterinary supervision. The reptiles are first sedated to avoid stress. Then, the process follows well-established standards designed to minimize waste. From a single crocodile, up to 75 pounds of high-quality meat can be harvested. It's commonly used in soups and steaks. Their skin, however, is the true treasure in the fashion industry. Crocodile meat is considered a delicacy, high in protein, low in fat, and perfect for a healthy diet. And crocodile leather has always been a symbol of luxury. Depending on the species, it takes 2 to 4 years for a crocodile to grow large enough for its meat and skin to be sold. Interestingly, Chinese farmers waste nothing. Even the teeth and bones are used to create souvenirs or traditional medicines. 90% of crocodile leather sold in Europe comes from China. The highest demand for crocodile skin is in Europe, the United States, and Japan, where leather goods can sell for tens of thousands of dollars. While crocodile farming is controversial, China has made significant efforts to ensure ethical practices. Many farms collaborate with international organizations to maintain transparency and conduct research to protect wild populations. Farm conditions are strictly regulated, as low water temperatures can slow crocodile growth, while excessively high temperatures can be fatal. Opening a mid-sized farm with 1,000 crocodiles requires an investment of at least $500,000. As you can see, crocodile farms in China aren't just about breeding reptiles. They're an entire ecosystem blending modern technology, culture, and business. Who would have thought predators could be part of such a delicate process? Do you think mayonnaise is just a simple mix of oil and eggs? What if I told you it can polish furniture and elevate your culinary creations to new heights? Today, I'll reveal the secrets behind making America's favorite mayonnaise at the Hellmann's factory and share tips that will blow your mind. Don't miss out. At this factory, thousands of pounds of mayonnaise are produced every day. But the journey to creating this popular sauce starts long before the ingredients even reach the facility. The quality of the final product is directly tied to the raw materials, which is why suppliers are carefully selected. The key components of mayonnaise are vegetable oil, egg yolks, vinegar or lemon juice, and seasonings like salt and mustard. Each of these ingredients plays a crucial role in achieving the perfect taste and texture. The first step in production is sourcing and preparing the ingredients. I watched as vegetable oil was pumped from massive storage tanks into the production area using powerful pumps. Before it's used, the oil goes through additional filtration to remove any potential impurities that may have gotten in during storage. At the same time, pasteurized egg yolks are taken out of the refrigeration units and gradually brought to room temperature. This step ensures they mix more easily with the other ingredients. Vinegar or lemon juice is carefully measured and mixed with water in the correct proportions to achieve the desired level of acidity. This mixture is then combined with salt, mustard powder, and other spices in a special tank for pre-mixing. Everything is thoroughly blended to ensure the dry ingredients are evenly distributed and completely dissolved. When all the components are ready, it's time for the magic to happen: emulsification. Emulsification is the process of combining two liquids that normally don't mix, like oil and water. This is where egg yolk proteins come in as natural emulsifiers. I was amazed by the enormous industrial blenders, known as homogenizers, used for this process. These machines are equipped with powerful mixers and temperature control systems. The process starts with loading the egg yolks into the blender, where the mixers begin spinning at an incredible speed. Then, the vinegar and spice mixture is gradually added. Once the yolks and vinegar are fully combined, the most crucial step begins: slowly adding the oil. The oil is added very slowly, in a thin stream or sprayed, while the mixers continue operating at high speed. This allows the egg yolk proteins to effectively coat the tiny droplets of oil, creating a stable emulsion. This is how the creamy smoothness we all know and love in mayonnaise is achieved. Temperature control during this process is crucial. The temperature is maintained between 68 and 77 degrees Fahrenheit using special cooling systems built into the homogenizers. Once the emulsion is ready, the mayonnaise undergoes an additional mixing stage to ensure uniformity. The mixture is pushed through tiny openings under high pressure, further reducing the size of the oil particles and enhancing the product's consistency. Next, the mayonnaise moves to real-time quality control. Automated systems take samples from the product stream and run quick tests to check for consistency, acidity levels, and appearance. This ensures that the mayonnaise meets all required standards before moving on to the next stage. After passing quality control, the mayonnaise is pumped into temporary stainless steel tanks. At this stage, additional ingredients can be added to create different variations of mayonnaise, like herbs, spices, or other flavorings. Before packaging, the mayonnaise goes through a process to remove any trapped air. Air pockets can not only affect the appearance of the product, but also speed up spoilage due to oxidation. To prevent this, the mayonnaise is placed in special vacuum chambers where all the air is gently removed from the product. Now we move on to the packaging stage, which is equally impressive in terms of technology. The factory is equipped with state-of-the-art packaging machines capable of handling various types of containers, ranging from small glass jars to plastic bottles and large containers for food service establishments. Before filling, each container undergoes thorough cleaning and sterilization. Glass jars are rinsed with hot water and dried with purified air, while plastic containers, which arrive pre-sterilized, are inspected and blown with filtered air to remove any dust particles. The mayonnaise is carefully pumped from the temporary tanks into the packaging machines. The filling process is highly precise to ensure each container receives the exact same amount of product. To prevent air bubbles from forming, the nozzle is slightly submerged in the mayonnaise and rises as the container fills. Once filled, the containers are sealed airtight. For jars and plastic containers, this involves securing lids with precise torque control to guarantee a perfect seal without damaging the container. For soft packaging, heat or ultrasonic sealing is used to ensure a secure closure. The containers are then moved to the labeling stage. Automated machines carefully apply the labels, ensuring precise alignment and no defects. Afterward, each container undergoes a final visual quality check using high-speed cameras and machine vision systems. This ensures that the product fully meets standards before being sent to the warehouse for further shipping. During my visit to the factory, I also learned a lot of interesting things about the history of mayonnaise. It turns out that its origins date back to the 18th century. According to one popular story, in 1756, during the 7 Years' War, after defeating the British in Port Mahon on the island of Minorca, the chef of the Duke of Richelieu created a sauce made from eggs and oil to celebrate the victory. The sauce was named Mayonnaise, after the city of Mahon. Other sources claim that the sauce already existed in French cuisine and derived from the Old French word moyeu, meaning egg yolk. Either way, mayonnaise quickly gained popularity in France and then throughout Europe. In the early 20th century, with the rise of industrialization, mayonnaise began to be produced on a large scale, making it accessible to the masses and helping to spread it around the world. Now, I'd like to share a few fascinating facts about mayonnaise that really surprised me. Did you know that in Japan, mayonnaise is considered a true delicacy? The Japanese use it not only in salads but also in unexpected dishes like pizza, sushi, and even ice cream. Japanese mayonnaise, such as the popular brand Kewpie, has a richer flavor thanks to the use of rice vinegar and extra egg yolks. Mayonnaise isn't just for food. It can be a helpful household item too. It's used to remove sticker or label residue, polish wooden furniture, and even as a moisturizing hair mask. Thanks to its oil and egg white content, mayonnaise nourishes and hydrates hair. In some countries, mayonnaise is preferred over ketchup as a dipping sauce for French fries. For instance, in Belgium and the Netherlands, fries are traditionally served with mayonnaise, and this is considered a classic pairing. Mayonnaise can also improve your baking. Adding it to cake or cupcake batter makes the final product more moist and tender. This is because mayonnaise contains oil and eggs, which enhance the texture of the dough. The largest Olivier salad ever made used a massive amount of mayonnaise. In 2012, a team of chefs in Moscow set a world record by preparing a salad weighing over 4,000 pounds. They used more than a ton of mayonnaise to achieve this. After visiting the Hellmann's factory, I gained a new appreciation for this everyday sauce. From its meticulous production process to its rich history and surprising uses, mayonnaise is far more interesting than it might seem at first glance. So, the next time you spread it on your sandwich, take a moment to think about the craftsmanship behind each jar. Heinz is a brand that has conquered the world. Just imagine. 11 billion bottles of ketchup are sold every year, and every second bottle in the United States is a Heinz. But what is this ketchup really made of? What drives such incredible success? And what secrets are hidden in every drop? Keep reading to uncover all the mysteries behind this iconic sauce. The main ingredient in Heinz ketchup is tomatoes. The production process starts with the careful selection of raw materials, where Heinz applies strict standards for choosing ingredients. Heinz uses special varieties of tomatoes grown exclusively for making ketchup. These tomatoes have a high content of natural sugars and acids, which gives the product its unique flavor. The tomatoes are cultivated on certified farms that follow strict environmental standards. By the way, did you know that the first ketchup recipe, which came from Asia, wasn't made from tomatoes? The recipe has completely transformed over time, allowing us to enjoy the wonderful sauce we have today. So, let me continue. Before purchasing the tomatoes, each batch undergoes laboratory testing to check for nutrients, acidity levels, and compliance with safety standards. Only the best tomatoes are used to make Heinz ketchup. In addition to tomatoes, other ingredients like sugar, vinegar, salt, spices, and natural flavorings are used in the recipe. All of these components are also rigorously tested to ensure they meet quality standards. Once the tomatoes are selected, they are transported to the factory for initial processing. At this stage, the tomatoes undergo thorough preparation before further refinement. First, they arrive at an automated line where they are washed using water sprays. This process takes place on a conveyor belt, allowing a continuous flow of tomatoes to be cleaned. Highly efficient water systems are used to remove dirt and dust from each tomato. On the conveyor belt, the tomatoes are sorted by quality and size. Optical sensors are employed to automatically reject any tomatoes that do not meet the standards. Any defective tomatoes are either sent for reprocessing or disposed of. The remaining tomatoes go through machines that peel off the skin. This often involves a process called thermal treatment, blanching, where the tomatoes are briefly heated to make the skins easy to remove. After peeling, the tomatoes are ground into a puree. This is done with special grinding machines that break down the flesh into small particles. The tomatoes are transformed into a smooth mass, which will later be used to make ketchup. Interestingly, until the 1990s, ketchup was mainly used as an ingredient in cooking. People baked pies, fish, and meat with it. It wasn't until the introduction of hamburgers, hot dogs, and French fries that ketchup became a standalone sauce. So we can thank the Germans and Belgians for inventing those foods. At this stage, the tomato puree is blended with other ingredients to make Heinz ketchup according to its classic recipe. The preparation process also involves automated systems that ensure continuous production. Into the pre-prepared tomato puree, other ingredients like sugar, salt, vinegar, and spices are added. The dosing process is handled by automatic dispensers, which precisely measure the amount of each ingredient to achieve the perfect flavor. Once all the ingredients are added, the puree is transferred to large mixers. Here, the mixture is thoroughly blended until it reaches a smooth, uniform consistency. The mixing machines are equipped with blades that rotate at high speeds, ensuring the ingredients are evenly incorporated. To ensure a long shelf life and eliminate harmful microorganisms, the mixture goes through a pasteurization process. The ketchup is heated to high temperatures, usually around 194 to 203 degrees Fahrenheit, which helps preserve its freshness without the need for artificial preservatives. This process is controlled by automated systems that maintain the exact temperature and processing time needed. Conveyor systems play a crucial role in ensuring the seamless production process at Heinz factories. Here's how the conveyor system works across different stages of ketchup production. One of the most important steps is the transportation of raw materials. All ingredients, tomato puree, sugar, vinegar, and other components are moved along conveyor lines to the mixing stations. This helps maintain precise dosing and speeds up the process. After the ketchup is prepared, it is transported via conveyors to the packaging department. But before I dive into the packaging process, here's an interesting tip. Did you know you can clean and polish metal items with ketchup? Its ingredients make it an eco-friendly and natural cleaning solution. Simply rub ketchup onto your pots, let it sit for about 10 minutes, then rinse it off with clean running water. I keep meaning to try this hack myself, but I always end up eating the ketchup before I get the chance. Now, back to packaging. It's a fully automated process that involves several steps: filling the bottles, capping, and labeling. Let me break them down for you in more detail. Bottle filling. The ketchup is poured into pre-prepared, sterilized bottles. Automated machines precisely control the amount of ketchup in each bottle, preventing both overfilling and underfilling. Fun fact: a ketchup fan once set a world record by drinking an entire bottle in just 32.27 seconds. Capping. After the bottles are filled, they are automatically sealed with caps. Automated capping machines ensure each bottle is tightly and securely closed. Labeling. Immediately after capping, the bottles are sent to labeling machines, where each bottle is affixed with a label. The machines carefully position the labels to ensure a neat and polished appearance for the product. One of the most critical stages is quality control during ketchup production. Throughout the conveyor line process, automated quality control systems are in place. sensors and cameras inspect the fill level of the bottles, the tightness of the caps, and the accuracy of the labeling. If a defective bottle is found, it is automatically removed from the conveyor line. To ensure a long shelf life for ketchup, the bottles undergo a final sterilization process after packaging. First, the bottles of ketchup are placed in autoclaves, where high temperatures and pressure are applied to complete the sterilization of the product. This process eliminates any remaining microorganisms that may have survived pasteurization, ensuring the product's safety without the need for preservatives. After the heat treatment, the bottles are cooled to room temperature. This process is also automated and carefully monitored to prevent any thermal damage to the bottles. I should also mention the benefits of ketchup for those looking to lose weight, as 3.5 ounces of the sauce contain only 112 calories. Once all stages of production are complete, Heinz ketchup is prepared for shipment to warehouses and retail locations. The finished ketchup bottles are transported from the production line to the warehouse using automated systems. At the warehouse, the products are sorted by batches and expiration dates. Special pallet systems are used to store the bottles at controlled temperatures to prevent any damage or loss of quality during storage. Heinz also has a well-organized logistics system that ensures product distribution worldwide. This process relies on modern automated tracking systems to monitor the movement of goods. The products are distributed through distribution centers and delivered to stores, supermarkets, and specialized retail locations. Strict transportation conditions are maintained to preserve the quality of the ketchup during transit. As I mentioned before, quality control is an integral part of every stage of Heinz ketchup production. Every step, from selecting the tomatoes to packaging, is monitored using advanced technologies and automated systems. The key quality control measures include laboratory analysis of ingredients, temperature monitoring, and inspection of the finished product. Every ingredient that enters the production process is tested to meet safety and quality standards. During heat treatment, the temperature is constantly monitored to ensure product safety and preserve its flavor. After pasteurization and sterilization, the finished ketchup undergoes further testing to ensure it meets quality standards, including checks for thickness, color, taste, and consistency. The Heinz logo adorns every third bottle of ketchup worldwide, and in the United States, it's on every second bottle. Heinz is one of the foremost recognized food brands globally. Each year, Heinz sells 11 billion bottles, which is roughly 2 bottles for every person on Earth. Founded in 1869, the company has remained at the forefront of the food industry by constantly evolving and maintaining high-quality standards. Just think about it, 155 years on the market. An impressive figure, right? Heinz operates 74 factories worldwide and distributes its products in more than 200 countries. They were also among the first to expand internationally, and today they hold around 30% of the global ketchup market. In fact, Heinz is considered a pioneer in many production trends. They increased the number of bottles produced per worker from 350 to 3,500. Heinz was also the first to introduce cleanliness in production. Before that, it's hard to imagine the unsanitary conditions where food was made. Additionally, they significantly reduced the use of preservatives in their products. The Heinz family tirelessly worked on automating their factories and created a real assembly line long before Henry Ford. The company has also received numerous medals and awards for advertising their products. Moreover, Heinz had to defend their original bottle designs in court to protect their unique shape for ketchup bottles.